universe. The universe. Fell in love with the universe. Tapped in with the universe. Had to do it with myself first.
As far as building your practice, what's the goal? Just to keep taking the cases as they come, or what are you looking at? Going forward, where's firm? Will you see 5 years from now? What's the big picture?
I've been examining that, and ideally, if I could retire and take care of my kids, that would be wonderful.
Nice. Well, of course.
But with the growth, it's getting to the point now where I definitely have to consider bringing on some staff, or maybe even some other attorneys, because it's becoming an awful lot of work. Mm-hmm. And you see all the advertisements and the push from attorneys. Mm-hmm. One of the core things about my practice that has sustained me and makes it so welcoming to my clients is what? When they call, who they speak with. You speak to the attorney, the attorney that's handling their case.
Nice.
Nobody else.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. It's funny that you should say that, because like when your business grows, some clients have a hard time with, well, I used to talk, I could call him and he answers the phone. Why? Right. Are you too big to talk to little old me? Like how?
Absolutely.
How would you handle that? Because there's an entrepreneur right now that's going through that, where their growth is so big, where it's like, hey, I love you, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, but I hired, Susan as my receptionist so that I can do more work. How do you handle that?
So in talking to some other good friends who are also entrepreneurs and very successful, the key element or the key approach in that regard, from what they are telling me and the way that they've laid it out, say, hey, Stiles, if you bring some more staff on, whether it's attorneys, paralegals, if you are able to instill in them that approach that you yourself take in dealing with the clients and relating with them and checking in with them, the fact that you yourself are not speaking to every single client is not going to be a problem, because those individuals are going to be reflective of the approach of how you handle things.
Company culture. It's
company culture. That's
company
right.
culture. It's the culture of the company. It's that person will still feel like they're talking to you, from the receptionist to the paralegal to the associate attorney to when they do get you on the phone.
I've even received offers from investment companies and firms saying, hey, man, given the work that you did for me on my case and the way that you handled that, I'm game to put down whatever it takes,
right,
so that type of service can be afforded to other men or to other injury victims. I've literally gotten those calls.
All right, so let's put it on a little lighter side. What has been the most entertaining case? First off, you have some funny stories. Like I'm not sure if you remember, but one of the best stories is when they stole your steps when you had the property in Atlanta, and you stepped out one morning and you was like, something ain't right, and you realized your steps had been stolen from you. So let's lighten it up. What is one of the funniest cases that you've had to represent, where you're like, is this even real?
Funniest case, man, that's a hard one, boy. It's not comical. It's not funny.
I know it's not comical. I'm even with advice for your friends.
Oh, man.
I know there's nothing funny in wrongful death, but I'm just like, even when your friend calls you and they're like, hey, I need a question on this, legal situation, you're like, what in the heck?
Man, oh boy, man, you should have given me a heads up on that.
I should have gave you a heads up on that one.
That's a tough one. I don't know.
No,
nothing's really coming to mind off
man.
top. Man.
Oh, okay. Let's see.
I could tell you what one of the most unfortunate, and I'm like, are you serious? What are these other law firms doing?
Okay.
I get a call from a friend who says, hey, they have a friend that was in an accident. Okay, I'm talking to the young lady, and she had a miscarriage following the accident.
Wow.
And I said, all right, I'm not about trying to pull clients from other firms. You need to ask the lawyer or whomever you're speaking to if they are making a claim for vehicular feticide. And she said, vehicular feticide, what's that? I was like, the fact that you said, what's that, lets me know they haven't asked you. They haven't inquired with you about that, but call the firm up and ask them. What she does, and she calls me back and said, they don't know what you're talking about, Mr. Stiles, but they said that they would definitely say that I had to go to the hospital and was having pregnancy problems, but that's it. I said, all right, we'll leave them. And within 10 days, had the full policy limits tendered for vehicular feticide.
Wow.
And that's not something that you automatically know off the top of your head.
Right.
You
Wow. Know? Wow. That is crazy.
Crazy, right?
Right. See, it doesn't have to be funny. I just want to know, like, what's one that's, who would ever thought that? But,
right.
you know your stuff. So that's a testament to the skill set that you have. To be able to think outside the box is really, really important. And to see, things that, these policies are written, in a way that the app, we sign them every single day. We don't know what we sign in. We don't know. We just know, like, this is the premium. This is what we paying for.
That is true.
And we have coverage. So what advice do you have, for those that are getting insurance for their cars, for their businesses, that they should always consider, so that way if they're ever in a situation when they need a person like you, they know that they have the right coverage?
Man, that's a tough one as well. But reading is fundamental. Take the time to read your policy. And at a minimum, you want to have a good relationship with whomever your insurance provider is, your agent. Mm-hmm. And to the extent you know somebody personally who's an agent, whether it's an old classmate, that's key, because you can ask them those questions and they can better give you the direction and advice that you need, as opposed to an attorney after the fact,
Because we see you when it go wrong.
Exactly.
Is this the same advice when seeking life insurance? Is this the same, any kind of insurance policy?
Definitely. I lost my dad recently, and there's that whole thing about, which I didn't even know.
Sorry to hear
you got
that.
the whole life insurance policy versus the term life insurance policy, and what we were looking at when he had fallen ill was, hey, Dad, we need you to pull through. But in the same respect, once he pulled through, then guess what? That insurance goes away. Doesn't work out anymore. So you want to make sure that you are getting a type of insurance where you're not feeling conflicted, where, hey, if Dad lives another year, we're glad that he's here, but if he does, then that $500,000 or whatever life insurance policy you have is no longer valid.
Well, having a relationship with a local agent is important, because today we go online. Like, we don't even think about the local agent down the street or just in our area. It's like, okay, I need insurance. I'm gonna go online and put in my address or my information, get a quote for someone, over the phone. The numbers sound right. Okay, I'm moving forward. Versus back to what you said at the beginning of our interview, which is relationships.
Right.
Going to that, having that local agent who can explain the policies, because you buy this in case it happens, but never do we really anticipate it happening until it happens.
Yeah.
And then it's like, this is what I bought. All of these papers are not worth the ink they're written on.
One of the most common issues that has been coming up in the last year, since me being out on my own, has been car accidents where, guess what, the person that hit them had no coverage.
Oh yeah, let's talk. Yeah, give us some tips on that.
The coverage had lapsed, or they weren't an authorized driver of the vehicle. And, there's no insurance to go after. And the client was like, man, what can I do? I was like, well, my first question is, do you have an uninsured motorist coverage? They're like, huh? What's that? And I said, it's underinsured, uninsured motorist coverage, which provides you with the ability to get reimbursed from your own insurance company for somebody else's negligent actions. I was like, so the best way to think about it is, you're buying insurance for somebody else not having insurance. That's what it is.
Right. So don't be cheap.
Yeah,
Don't be cheap.
It costs a bit more, and a common statement is, "Well, I have full coverage." Just because you have full coverage doesn't mean you have uninsured motorist coverage.
Which goes into back to the agent in a relationship and reading that policy and understanding what you have for that policy.
And I mean, the law requires everybody to have insurance, but the fact of the matter is, you got hundreds of people here in Metro Atlanta that don't have insurance on their cars.
And there's an accident every day.
There are 497 accidents every day in Metro Atlanta.
Wait, how many again?
497. That's the latest toll.
A day?
Every single day.
So you do got a heavy case load. You do have a heavy case load. Okay, yeah.
That's one of my good, somewhat comical questions I ask the clients when they either first come in or we're doing their settlement disbursements. Like, did I ever ask you how many car accidents you think happen in Atlanta every day? Give me your best guess. And it ranges from 50 to maybe 100. Nah, it's 497.
Yeah, and they must all happen on Evans Mill, because I promise you, it's always like 2:00 in the morning, 2:00 in the afternoon.
Oh man,
it's not like Atlanta traffic is something else.
Yes, it is.
Wow, but to protect yourself as a driver, opt for the couple. It's probably only an extra $50, but
that's exactly right. It's about $45 to $50.
Right, an extra $50. Just put it on there to give yourself the peace of mind. Pineapples 54321. Pineapples 54321. All right, I want to segue. So, what are you doing painting wise? What do you have going on now? Are you have any new pieces that you're working on?
I have 3 kids. It's hard to paint.
Well, are you teaching them how to paint?
I am. It wasn't a big news story. It was online, but the new dean at the University of Georgia, Bo Rutledge, who I consider to be a good friend, he actually invited me out to lunch. This must have been 2017. So I'm still on the tail end of coming over my illness. Mm-hmm. And I had given him a painting when he became the dean of the law school. And he said, "Hey, man, I can't think of anything better than you to do the artwork to replace the Confederate portraits here at the law school." So you go to UGA Law right now, it's about 30 of my paintings hanging up throughout the law school.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. So,
and they call it the Stiles collection, which I'm like, really?
The Stiles collection? That's dope. That's dope. That's dope. So out of any of the kids is there one you're like, she got it?
Ryan, she got it. Yeah.
She got it. She got it. Yeah. Wait, interesting story. How did you start painting? Because your mom was pretty funny. Like, you got to tell everybody how you started painting. Let's do it.
Why are you trying to bring up?
I know, but there's a kid right now that needs to hear this. He needs to hear this.
So I'm 6'3", tall guy. Had aspirations of being a big time ball player and such. Played a little middle school ball. Never made the cut for high school basketball. Never made the cut for junior varsity or the varsity team. And last time I tried out, sophomore year, it was bad. It was bad. It was bad. I went up for a little layup, and Anton, who I was still good friends with, he knocked me down.
He hit you with the no Matumbo?
No, he didn't hit me with the no Matumbo. But he hit me, and I did a full split, and the entire gym was laughing. So that was it for me. So,
that was it.
And my mom, seeing how upset I was about not making, she said, "Hey, you're always a good artist. You should paint." And I get home, and she's got some easels set up with canvases on it, and I just started painting.
Shout out to mom.
Shout out to mom.
Because guess what? You're definitely a better painter than a ball player, and
yes,
ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. It all works out in the end. Well, I want to tell you thank you so much, Mr. Stiles, for your time. and your attention and your energy and to tell your story. I'm very grateful to have you here, and I hope we can have you back.
My pleasure.
Thank
you
you
so much.
Thank you. Wish you the best. I would like to give a special thanks to today's guests and sponsors. You can follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Stay tuned for the next episode.
To the universe, the universe. Feeling.
This episode of Boardroom Savages is brought to you by the Joe Reyes Insurance Agency at Country Financial. As you work through life, you may find you need to protect what you value most. Whether that's your business, home, auto, or loved ones, Joe Reyes at Country Financial has a solution for you. As a Country Financial insurance agent, Joe Reyes is prepared to help you with insurance options to protect what and who you love. Visit joedoesinsurance.com or call 770-967-3190. This episode of Boardroom Savages
To the universe, the universe. Fell in love with the universe. Tapped in with the universe. Had to do it with myself first.
Joe Reyes at Country